God damn, what a way to start out an arc. So we know this is officially now the start of this arc for Jujutsu Kaisen. The whole stuff at Shibuya and all this stuff on Halloween. And obviously in real life, Halloween just passed. But I'm really excited that the fact that the author is using like a holiday like Halloween as a plot time for this whole event. Because I'm wondering if it's going to have any relations to the actual day that they picked. Because like Halloween obviously has a spookier time in a lot of people's minds, but obviously, you know, it ties stuff to like Day of the Dead. And I'm wondering if there's going to be some explanation of why it had to be Halloween and it wasn't just on Halloween just cuz. But here it is, like they have the curtain up. We didn't deal with, oh yeah, the couple chapters in and then the curtain goes up. The curtain is already up, you know, where we're now getting into the whole fray of things as they're like talking about all the civilians that are in, and it's only trapping civilians. You know, sorcerers and shamans can go in and out as they please. It's not like a big deal for them. It's just trapping all these innocent people. And so all the shamans are like, well, we need to figure out something to do. We need to figure out how to get over this and how to press all this up. And then in the meantime, you're seeing like all the characters all teamed up with each other, all in different groups, but also other people that are going through this as advancement to hopefully get up in rank. You have Megumi, who's like this dude Ino, and he's just kind of like he's like an exposition character. He just wants to explain stuff. It's like, hey, did you remember what screens do? No? Well, let me explain more curtains as this translation. Inconsistent. Just stick with curtain or screen. I don't care. Pick one. But anyway, they're just kind of discussing the whole situation and how, you know, that this is all like this has all been planned. You know, they're able to figure this out. This isn't some random event. Obviously, with the design of the screen, it was for a while thought up, and so they need to figure out, okay, well, what exactly is the plan here? They're like, okay, we're gonna kind of encircle the area. We're going to get people stationed up as backup, and send in Satoru Gojo as a way to minimize damage, and I guess in their hopes, with multiple special grades in there, I don't really know how that's gonna happen. I see a couple hollow purples flying around and just completely tearing the place up. There's gonna be a lot of dead civilians in this whole fight. I don't see it really being like one of those like, damn, luckily none of the civilian guys died in this. There's probably gonna be a lot of nameless, just passers-by, unfortunately getting caught up in things. The one thing though that I was very much interested in, so it showed Megumi's team, then it shows over with it shows Maki and Kugisaki, and it's like, okay, well, who are they with? They're with freaking Naobito, the leader of the Zenin clan, this dick, and he's just standing there and be like, oh, whatever, I guess, you know, we're just gonna stand around, we can't break in the curtain, or what are we gonna do here? And he's just trying to be like some, oh, what are we even really doing here? No one knows what's going on, they should just send me in kind of guy. You can tell that he thinks that it's just standing here is below him. You know, we've seen that he's an arrogant kind of guy, and you know, he's very sure of his family name and sure of his position. I mean, he can't be that great. He's only supreme grade, so below Satoru. So you're not top dog, bar. So you better calm your shit. I just don't like him. We've had multiple instances throughout the series where even if it's not him speaking, like when we see flashbacks with anything with the Zenin clan, we see like how Maki is treated. We see how Papa Goro was treated, old Toji, and it was just like, I don't like these guys. The Zenin clan just seems like a bunch of jerks, and even like they were gonna force Papa Goro pretty much to sell over his son. He's just like, nothing about the Zenin clan seems good. They all seem like a bunch of jerks. And we get this chapter, like a lot of different like perspectives of characters and their areas they're stationed up and trying to figure out where exactly they're placed in this whole plan. I mean, a lot of them just seem to be stationed almost as, I mean, pretty much sentries. They're just kind of guarding areas for if any curses get past Satoru, because they're just sending in Satoru like, this is too serious, this is a big event, we need to just get our best in there and have it dealt with. I mean, it's definitely a good idea. I mean, they should probably send in some more people instead of just having them wait outside. I mean, I guess it really just depends on what kind of what level of individuals they have. And this one, for one, really tells me something about the layout of the Jujutsu crew right now, because they're sending in Satoru in the hopes that, you know, they're sending their special grade in order to get things done. But they used to, we know that they had other special grades. You know, they had Yuki and they had Yuta. But we know, one, Yuki is, she just kind of does her own thing. She just wanders around and just doesn't really stick in one place. She's kind of like just a little bit of a problem within their crew. It's unfortunate that like every special grade they get has some like defect to them that they can't really utilize them. But her versus Satoru is trying to get the job done, trying to help people, whereas Yuki's just like, she's trying to do things on a grander scale. And it'd be like, well, why don't they have Yuta in there? This just kind of supports the theory that Yuta might have turned heel and went over to Satoru's side, and that's why when we saw, was it chapter 32 or 33 on the cover, you see him with one of Geto's crew. So we'll see that. That one I think is really intriguing, just on the fact of he could have been the mole. He could still be the mole. Maybe he's very unreliable and they can't really call him in this kind of scenario. But I think it's backed up a little bit, because you see right before Satoru shows up, you see two of Geto's members. You see those two girls, the ones he saved on the night when he decided to go against the Jujutsu crew, you know, go against the school. And, you know, they were in Volume 0, the two girls. I'm trying to remember what their power. One is like able to hang people, and one of them does something with her phone. But yeah, they're there. So that means that all that crew is already stationed up. Geto's whole crew should be present, and the extent of that I'm very curious upon. I really want to know who else is there, because again, if Yuta's there, that would really change things, because we know that Hanami and Jogo, they're special grade, but they're not even close to his power amount to fight Satoru. We don't know how strong Choso is. Yuta is definitely up there, like, if he could fight with Satoru, that would 100% make sense. We already saw how powerful he is. He's just very unstable. So they're getting in. Then you got all these people just in their Halloween costumes all freaking out because they're not really sure, you know, what's going on. They're all trapped in this building. And oddly enough, on top of that, they just see this guy walking around on air. Satoru just doing his whole spatial thing and just walking on nothing, pretty much flying around. And then he's like, oh, I think I know what's going on here. And decides to just pretty much just drop down into the area the subway is. You know, we get over to Yuji, who's talking to Mei, and we meet Mei's little brother. I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce that. UI, it's just, I think it's Yui? Ui? I don't know how to pronounce that. But I was intrigued on the fact that he is, and it says this thing, it's because we know that Mei is grade 1. It says that her brother, oh wait, no, I was looking at the wrong one. It just says Ui. I somehow like looked at his name and then looked at Yuji's thing, and I was like, how is he grade 1 on the verge? Then, because it made sense to me, it's like, oh, maybe some prodigy, and you know, this is why he's here. Now I'm wondering why exactly he's here. I'm very curious to what the reason that he is now present with Mei in this whole thing. Maybe it has something to do with her power or fighting capabilities. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of funny. I was rereading this for the third time as I'm reviewing this, and I just caught this, and I'm like, now I'm more confused on that whole aspect of his character. But while all these guys are getting stationed out in order to deal with the stuff at Shibuya, they're like, oh yeah, another curtain over at, I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce this, Meiji Jinkume Station. I'm wondering how far that is from Shibuya. I should look it up. But they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go deal with that. So they're pulling one crew away from there, and I'm guessing that they're going to start to pull away all of the backup people that are stationed around Shibuya in order to do something with their plan. Because I don't think that just this setup is going to be enough for Satoru, because here when he gets down at the subway, he's faced off against Choso, Jogo, and Hanami, all special grades, but we already know that Jogo was pretty much noped by Satoru. Satoru like almost killed Hanami with his hollow purple. You don't know anything about Choso. We just know he's the eldest brother of the of that crew, and he's still pretty miffed about Kechisu and Eso being killed. So in this, I think that they've got more. I think there's going to be more members showing up. I think they're going to start like waiting until like get in the fight and then throw another person in there. And then once Satoru starts to get used to an extra person, throw another person in there and just try to keep him on his toes and maybe figure out a plan in order to overwhelm him, or in order to really kind of limit what he can do, because there's a lot of people around here, and that's one of the things I'm very intrigued with. If Satoru is going to try and drag them further away, or if he's going to just fight them while trying to keep these people safe, or does he know that that's pretty much impossible? I mean, you have 4 special grades at least fighting in this area. People are going to die. I mean, we already saw, like, Jogo just kind of getting excited would burn people nearby him, just completely incinerate, like, plain humans to death. And Hanami's got pretty wide range attacks as well, so that's going to be dangerous. And then, assuming that Choso has similar power to his brothers, he's going to have some, like, acidic blood, so things aren't looking too friendly for these guys. It looks like they're going to get into some really big bloodfest fights. So the next couple chapters are just going to be this huge cross battle of these guys all trying to go against Satoru Gojo. So from that, I'm very intrigued. I really want to know how this goes down. One thing I'm expecting, just as a small side thing, I'm expecting to see Hanami's area expansion. We didn't get to see, got cut off when he was fighting against Todo and Yuji. And I want to see some more techniques from Satoru, because he's a big badass super boss. I bet he's got to have more than Hollow Purple. I mean, he literally, after the whole fight with Papa Girl, was like, I need to just train. I need to figure out better ways to improve myself. I need more techniques and more advancements. And then it's been years and years and years even after that. So he's got to have way more than just Hollow Purple and then, you know, red and blue. So I really want to know how this is going to go down. I mean, this chapter was like legitimately like pure setup. It was pure setup, and yet there's so many like small moments in this, and yet this big cutoff at the end is such a hype beast of not just the special grade versus Satoru, but you have 3 of them. One of them, you know, obviously lost to him in a straight fight before. We have one of them who just kind of got offed at a long range of his attack, and then we have Choso, who we don't know anything about yet, but we know he's got to be powerful. Anyway, comment below. Tell me what you thought about this chapter. Also, like, the only reason that they beat Eso and Kechizu was because Kugisaki straight countered their way of fighting, and you had Yuji, the fact that he's pretty much immune to poisons, which I thought was interesting because it's more of like from the lore of the character that Sukuna is derived from, which was fair and interesting. I like that. But anyway, yeah, comment below. Tell me what you thought about the chapter. Thumbs up the video, but from the like button and subscribe button, and check out my other videos. I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed. I thank you all for listening. Bye.